So, in our further play of the hands, y'all remember this? Let's do this one up here. 8 ever, 9 never. What the heck does that mean? 8 ever, 9 never. Well, what it's saying is that if you have 8 cards in a suit between your two hands and you're missing the queen, you should always finesse for the queen. And if you have 9 cards in a suit between your two hands, you should play for the queen to drop underneath the ace and the king. So first off, let's look in the situation where you have 8 cards in a suit between your two hands. Look at the hearts and look at the diamonds. In the diamonds, we have the ace, the king, the jack, the 7, and the 3. And the ace and the king, the jack are all in kind of one hand, right? The jack is with either the ace or the king. In the other hand, the jack is away from, it's all by itself. And we have no 10 in either hand, right? When they talk about 8 ever, they're envisioning this kind of situation where the ace, the king, the jack are here. So if you led the 2 and this person played low, if the queen was here, your jack would win. Now, actually in that situation, well, we won't even go there. That's what they're talking about. When you play low, and ace, king, jack is in one hand, you play low to the jack. When they are saying always finesse, but you have the jack in an opposite hand, so you're not leading towards the jack, right? Right? You're going to have to lead the jack out of your hand. That is not a finesse. For it to be a finesse for the queen, you either have to have the jack with either the ace or the king, like in the diamonds over here, or you have to have the 10 as well as the jack. So the idea here is if you played this jack and the queen was here, they would play it. They would cover an honor with an honor. You'd win the king, right? But you're still missing the 10, the 9, and another card. And now when you play the ace, the 10 will become a winner. So you really didn't gain anything. Okay? If we had had ace, king, 8, 7, 3, and the jack, 10, 5, 2. Since we have the 10 as well, we could lead the jack. If they play the queen, we win the king. And now our ace and 10 take, whoops, excuse me, jack, 10, 5. Now our ace and 10 take the last 2 cards from the opponent's hand. 2 from one, 1 from the other. So when they're talking about 8 ever, 9 never, you either must have the jack and the 10 in one hand, or the jack has to be with one of the other high cards, the ace or the king. We'll do one more. The king is in one hand, the jack's in the other, right? But that jack is with an ace. So we could lead our king and then lead a low one towards the ace jack. And if the queen was over here, the jack would win. Okay? So that's what that's talking about. Either the jack has to be with either the ace or the king or both, and you're leading towards the jack to finesse. Or if you have to lead the jack, the 10 must be with either your hand, or it would have been okay if the 10 was up here and this had been the 8. That would have been okay. But you have to have the 10 as well. 9 never is just what it sounds like. When you have 9, you play the ace and everyone follows. You play the king and you're hoping that the queen will drop. So 8 ever, 9 never. We're always talking about the queen. And what it's saying is if you have 9, you play the ace-king, hoping to capture the queen. And if you have 8, you finesse, as long as you have the 10 in one of the hands, or the jack is with at least one of the other honors. Okay. I'll be back tomorrow with a new one. Bye-bye.